a tiny rock climbing area in Rigaud. This is Quebec province. So this wall, it's really not tall. It's maybe 25-30 feet tall. But what's cute about the place is that you have those pines, especially look at the trees that grow on the rocks actually, just like this one. So these are really, that one right there, are really at the top. It's such a cute place, but it's tiny. It's really tiny. I mean, you don't spend 30 minutes here walking, hiking. It's just nice to see it, nice to look at it. And this is autumn, this is the fall, and you have just the right light. So this is about noon, slightly past noon, and it's just the right sunlight. The sky is blue, gives you this image. It's very nice. We are weekdays now, so there's nobody here. But I'm not saying nobody will come weekdays, but you see the colors perhaps. You have the ski slopes. That's basically, this is the when you look on the map with all the mountain, it's really the left side. This is the last ski slope to the left, last one. The base is right there someplace. And we have access here. It's from November. We are almost November now. It's about from 9 a.m. 4 p.m. and there is a fee. Actually, you need to pay about $8. And also we have bike tracks, mountain bike tracks. You don't see them from this point, but there's summertime is going to be plenty of bikes here, mountain bikes. It's not a big place, and the tracks for bikes are not really that, difficult, but people do enjoy them. And also, like I said, I showed you, if you can see from the image, we have those, I don't know the names, attachments, when people climb in this place. In Quebec, I'm not into climbing, although I like it, but I never did it. There's really very few, basically I would say almost no climbing spots, real climbing spots like you have in the United States. I'm not sure if I can clean this one hand. So you have at most tiny walls like this one, and you can tell perhaps in the background. It's about 50 minutes from Montreal, west of Montreal. Take by Highway 40. I was saying there's no real, Quebec is not a place for climbing, not a province for climbing unless you go maybe further north. That's how it is. I would even say there's not a lot of nature places to really see nature, real nature here in Quebec. It's towards the north of the province, some places, but it's not big. So yes, it's definitely not the Canadian West. They have the Rocky Mountains in the Western Canada, Vancouver area. They are much more lucky. I have it. This is the top of the rock. That rock was there. There's an access to on the right, far right of the rock. So just trying to walk. My phone, this phone has about everything you want except camera, optical stabilization, so the image may be shaky. So the trails are full of this at the top of the mountain, hill, whatever you call it. The trails are full of this rock, so it's not comfortable. It's not terrible, but not comfortable. I'm not having even boots. But yeah. It's this kind of rocks. It's just nice to see. Too bad it's so small, but hey, that's how it is. Look at the squares here. It's just crazy, like crystals. It's kind of nature. Wanted to build a home or something. Now these are areas that I just I'm not sure how this happened here. Perhaps possibly that rock did separate from the rest. So this top of the top of this kind of rocky areas are so nice because the trees are very small. I don't know if you can tell from the image, but these trees are not tall. They cannot be bigger than this because obviously there's no place for the roots. But it's such a cute place. I'll show you another one nearby, more towards the other end of the this ski area. These spots are so cute. It's like, I don't know how to describe this, like in a story or something, like a kind of surreal, because it's, you see that how it looks, the rocks, and then you have those, I'm not sure what the name is, needles from pine needles or so, and it just looks, I don't know, it's like from another planet. And these pines are a bit taller, but not too tall. You can see, this is Quebec, a very flat province. This is a province that was covered during the Ice Age, I think. Was covered with a thick layer of icebergs, basically. Ice, thick ice. Imagine this plain, this spot, and I don't know, I cannot give you, I don't know the right numbers, but it was, let's assume, half a mile thickness of glass, of ice all over the place, and obviously that ice would move, and that's what caused the area to be so level, except for the spots where there were really strong rocks which resisted the ice crushing from the ice. Again, the sunlight, obviously it's a clear day. The sky is not perfectly blue, I would say. But this is, I was born in Eastern Europe, basically Romania, and back then, count about, I don't know, when I was a teenager, 20-30 years ago, the climate in Europe was nice. Back then, we didn't have, not good with Fahrenheit, but now we have in Romania, and not just Romania, other spots, we have, there will be, not this summer, but past summer was 40 Celsius for weeks, almost non-stop. 40 Celsius is possibly, pretty sure it's above 100 Fahrenheit. 105, 110, I don't know exactly, but it was insane. However, when I was still living there, when I was a child, there were no such temperatures. It was just normal climate. And back then, Europe had a beautiful springtime. I'm not sure if it still exists today the way I did experience it, but the springtime in Europe back like 40-50 years ago. This was about the spot where I was filming a few minutes earlier. So I was saying that springtime that I knew in Europe was just amazing. I cannot describe it. It's impossible to describe these things. It had a sunlight, special sunlight, and the temperature also was so cool, so nice. But also I think the air had a smell, springtime smell of the air itself. At least I could, those are my memories. Perhaps not everybody would, I'm not sure if everybody would have the same sensitivity, but that's the climbing spots here. That air, the light of the spring in Europe, I didn't realize it at that time, but it kind of just got stamped into my memory, emotional memory. And when I moved to Canada, that kind of springtime doesn't exist here. Did not exist, still doesn't exist. Although Canadians, for their point of view, they do call it spring, but to me it has nothing to do with spring. It's more like the time in the year. The season change from winter very, very quick to summertime. There's no such feeling like it was in Europe. They still say there is, but again, I experienced something very different in Europe. However, Canada does have autumn, fall time. And this fall time in Canada, although it's obviously different than a springtime in Europe, the fall time in Canada has just the same intensity, emotional intensity if you want. Well, maybe not the same, slightly less I would say, but it still feels just like in some way the spring was feeling in a different way, but this kind of intensity in Europe. So I basically kind of replaced the springtime, European springtime, with Canadian autumn, fall, and this is the season in Canada. I don't know how it is in the United States, but this is the season in Canada, which is just beautiful. Obviously you need to be away from the cities, definitely away from the cities, and the farther we go north, the better it is, because it just has, at some point in north where the air is clear, clean, it has a smell. The trees that you see here, this is very little color here, so you may get more color, but sometimes if you are in the right spots, I don't know names, I did live in other cities in Quebec province, you have really a smell in the air. Also the sunlight it's different in fall season here in Canada. It has a special light. Again, perhaps not everybody will feel this, but so it's just a feeling, overall feeling, sensitive, smell, visual, which it's specific for Canada, and this is one of the things I like in this country. I'm just giving you a 360 degrees look. Look at this small tree here. And I was talking about Romanian or European spring. I did visit Romania maybe 15 years ago or so, and I did spend a few days in springtime, and I kind of I did feel again the spring of my childhood, and it's really, I'm getting emotional when I describe this, true emotional. I started crying, and that's I don't know if it makes sense or not, but it was just meeting someone that you love or something like this. It was just, I didn't expect that at all. It was absolutely unexpected for me to have that reaction. And I didn't, again, when I was a child, teenager, I did enjoy it, but I didn't realize how intense that feeling was, how important that feeling was for me, and I guess for many other people. But that's how it goes. However, I think because of the temperatures change, really big temperatures in summertime now in Europe. I'm not aware if there's still that spring there, the one that I knew. They have a it's not necessarily a temperature rise just because the planet is heating up. It really is. If you look on internet, in Europe there is a mass of hot air which is shifting from above the Sahara Desert, the north of Africa. It's a huge mass of air. It's moving, it's shifting across the Mediterranean and then over a couple of European, southeastern European countries. And whoops, those countries get toasted, really toasted. It's so unusual for those people, and my God, I couldn't live in those areas, especially my health issue. But yes, not everything is forever. So this is a small area of really near the top of this. They call this a mountain. It's more like a hill. It's a small area. That's where there are trees, coniferous, and rocks. But it's not a big spot here. It's definitely not Adirondacks or other places in the United States. One of the things which I cannot find it here, but I've seen it in one place. It's something that it's a sensation, something that I'm guessing not everybody will understand, and it's difficult to put a name on it. But I describe that as untouched nature, untouched by the humans. If you ever go in a place that's obviously away from any kind of tourist attraction, tourist destination, I'm talking about nature. If you ever just move farther away in areas that are not just not frequent, like there's no people going there, not living, but just going there, like at all, like nobody went there for who knows, for years or maybe even never. At least I did get that sensation, that feeling of, that's what I describe, untouched nature, virgin nature. It's just different. It's just a different. I don't know. It's a feeling, and it's particular, and it's quite. I don't know. It's like a sensation. It's quite special to feel it. It's not intense, but it's there, and it doesn't really have a logical explanation somehow. I'm guessing, do we humans kind of, when you go, that doesn't make sense. When you go to a place, you kind of spoil something, you remove something from that space, from that place, basically from the nature. I'm not talking philosophical here. It's really sensations. Maybe, who knows, maybe some people can sense this, that, you know, the nature, maybe imagine 5,000 years ago, maybe even 100,000 years ago, without humans, may have feel different than today. Just a feeling, not being different, but just feeling different than today. And that feeling, it's what I call a untouched nature. Look at this tree. Wow, not a lot of roots to grow there. It's cool. It's quite a feeling to see the top of the tree, or top of a tree, like from a few meters away. It's a different feeling. You see this one too. It's a different feeling, a particular feeling. So I was saying that I had this feeling about that untouched area when I was on an island on Saint Laurent River, and that island was had very small, like a tent area, but it's very rustic and it's not touristic at all. However, I went I just walked through that island and arrived on one of the beaches. Again, this was in the middle of the river Saint Laurent. I arrived on one of the shores, basically, of the island, where I could tell few people were ever have been ever there, or have been walking there. Even those tourists in the island, I don't think they have been walking there. And it has a feeling. It has a feeling to it. An area like this, for some reason. Again, it's impossible to really describe what that feeling is, but it has a feeling, and it's impressive. It's cool to see it. It's cool to just have that sensation. I like this pine needles, whatever it is. Try to put myself so I don't see my shadow. This again, this is on top of that rock, just further away. It's a pretty big rock, actually. Notice how it did split at some points. These tiny trees, I can reach them just with my hand, right there. These are so small and cute. It's like miniature trees, not too tall. Doesn't feel perhaps in the movie, but it gives me a bit of vertigo from here. If I look downwards, it's not tall, but Still gives you that feeling. That would be the Saint Laurent River, I believe, right at the far away. This is a small area. I was just above a few moments ago, and there is some sort of a balcony here, covered with green. You name the name in English, I don't know it. It's really nice. It's not too big. It's very soft, and you have, oh look at this, a nice bed if you want. And again, this is a climbing spot. Pine wanted to grow in a slightly different manner. So there is a climbing wall right there. You see those attachments that go like this. This looks pretty old. Maybe you can hear a few wild geese. It's also funny in Quebec. There's wild turkey. I've seen them, and not really far away from the cities, and they just go by the side of the street. It looks tasty, I guess. Wild, I guess, is better than farm. So, and they are very careless too.